Once upon a time, a Buddhist monk and his disciple were traveling through a village. They both were very hungry. They saw a house nearby and knocked on the door. A man in a ragged clothes came out. He looked very poor and his house was in a bad shape. The monk said to him, "We are very hungry. Can you give us something to eat?" The man welcomed them into his house and fed them food. After eating food, when the monk looked around, he noticed a fertile land nearby. The land was fertile, but the crops were neglected. It seemed that the man did not pay much attention to the crops. He asked the man, "How do you earn your living?" The man said, "I have a buffalo that gives a lot of milk. I sell that milk for my family's living." It was getting dark, so the monk asked the man if they could stay for the night at his house. The man agreed. The monk and his disciple stayed at his house. At night, the monk woke up his disciple and said, "Let us leave this place now and take this buffalo with us." The disciple did not like what his master said. The man had been so kind to them, and the buffalo was his only source of income. But he obeyed his master, and they took the buffalo and left quietly. Many years passed after this incident, and the disciple was bothered by this incident for years. One day, he decided to visit the man. He went to the village, and when he reached near man's fields, he was surprised to see that the barren fields were now full of fruit trees. He could not believe his eyes. Just then, he saw the man coming towards him. He greeted him and said, "Do you remember? Years ago, I met you with my master and stayed at your house for a night." The man was happy to see him. He invited him to his house and said, "That night, my buffalo went missing. I searched for it everywhere, but could not find it. I did not know what to do. Then I went to the forest and started cutting wood and selling it. With that money, I bought some seeds and planted them in my fields. The harvest was good that year. I used that money to plant fruit trees. Now, my business is doing very well. I am the biggest fruit trader in this area. Sometimes I think that if I had not lost my buffalo that night, none of this would have happened." The disciple said, "But you could do this work even earlier too, before losing your buffalo." The man said, "At that time, my life was going easy, without any hard work. I did not think of working hard, as the money from selling milk was enough for my daily needs. I never realized that I could do so much." If we see in our lives, we will find that many times in our life, there are things that stop us from achieving greatness. Like in this story, buffalo was the cause of man's laziness and was stopping him from doing efforts and improving his life. Similarly, there are many buffaloes in our life which are stopping us from progressing in our life. These buffaloes are like comfort zone, laziness, bad habits, or fear of change. If you also have any of these buffaloes in your life, then remove it from your life today itself. Because unless you free yourself of these buffaloes, you cannot discover your true potential, use your abilities, free yourself from laziness, and do great things in your life.